Happy Friday, people. Welcome back to the show. Sam, in your last video, you asked me about cosplay. The question, I think, was if I could cosplay anybody, what would it be? Okay, so I have cosplayed some people in the past, even though cosplay isn't one of my personal excitement things. The dress-up thing sometimes can be exciting, but it doesn't really, I don't really find it too exciting. Okay, so the cosplay thing is, I have cosplays of characters from some of my favorite animes, like Natsu from Fairy Tail, which was one of my gateway animes, one of the animes that got me really rolling in the anime universe. And I think that was really my only actual deep cosplay. I have done some I guess you could call it cosplay, but it's not of a character. I've dressed up in some steampunk, which I didn't even start doing till we were together, and then you were into steampunk, so we both dressed up as steampunk and went to some cons. Oh, and I've dressed up as an Oran High student. I think that was my first one. Yeah. Okay, so I went as Oran High student, Natsu, and then steampunk. Those are the cosplays that I've done. So the Oran High cosplay was bought offline. Oran High is one of my first animes that I watched after Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail being probably one of my main gateways into getting into the anime verse. Then Oran High School probably came in second after that as a pretty good comedy slice of life. And then after meeting Sam, she introduced me into some steampunk, and I did some steampunk outfits. That's about it. Yeah, those three. So the Natsu outfit, I bought a wig. That was the only thing I bought for it. And then I had my mom made me the rest of it, because she is pretty handy with a sewing machine, which I am not. And I still have that one in the closet today. I think I have the Oran High School one. And then the steampunk one is one that we kind of put together with some dress clothes, my top hat that I wore to our wedding, some leather articles that you have had. So it was kind of more like a Western style steampunk that I went with. I'll see if I can find some photos and I'll add it here, but I don't know if I have any. But if I could cosplay anything, I don't really have a specific character, but I'll tell you what, I've been to a few cons, mostly Ticino Con, which is coming up in Victoria. If anyone's going to that, I don't think, maybe we'll be there. There's a 50-50 chance that we'll be there this year, but if we don't go, this will be the first time I haven't gone to Ticino Con in 5 years. And then I did go to another con in Vancouver, which was quite big, with Dustin before I was even with Sam. And I just mostly went as an Oran High student as my cosplay. But one thing I noticed that I was there is that there are some amazing cosplayers out there that really put time and effort into their outfits. Some crazy designers building these awesome outfits from home. Some have wings that move, or other parts that light up, or cosplays that are the character to a T. Like, they really put the time into making it as close to the character as possible. And I've always wanted to do something like that. You've got people who make armor out of certain materials that look realistic. You have people from video games that will suit up in actual kit and armor from stuff like Halo. So I always wanted to make the investment financially and time-wise into doing a cosplay into something as similar as that, but I never have, because I just don't have what it takes to do that sort of creative work in putting a costume together. And also, I just I've found that investing some of the money that might go into that into other hobbies like my collections of figures and manga and books is this something I would enjoy more than having a super duper cosplay that I wear a few times. There are professional cosplayers out there and people who are striving to be professional cosplayers, and it makes more sense for them to make the investment in that sort of thing because it's a pursuit of theirs as either a career or like one of their hobbies. Then there are the people who pick simpler cosplays, more like your standard cosplayer, but nail it. People who just nail cosplays are awesome. Most people like this will dress in like a cloth style cosplay, but somehow they just pull off the character, they get the hair right, or they just get the way that they're walking right, and really represent that cosplay. Some cosplays that I really always wanted to do, I always wanted to do Dark Link with red eyes, and then I also wanted to do Ocarina of Time Link, but I haven't done either. I did dress up my daughter Freya as Link this Halloween, and Sam made the outfit, and it was awesome, and she loves it. She went around telling everyone for months after that she's Link, the little ginger Link, and that made me super happy. And who knows, there's still time in the future to maybe having me do Dark Link or Ocarina of Time Link, or maybe even invest into a deeper, more intense armor type cosplay. Something I gotta take from cosplayers is that they're always so excited to be their characters, and one of the things that I love about going to cons and seeing people in their cosplays is trying to play the "What are you from?" game. Who is that character from? You'll always see tons of Sailor Moon cosplayers and Dragon Ball Z ones, and Attack on Titan is always ones that you see. But I like finding those ones where the cosplay is so good and unique, but you might not just know who that character is, and then you start talking with your friends trying to figure it out. Those people that are pulling off cosplays in an amazing fashion are really awesome. But the truth is, if I think about it, it's not something I would really invest the proper amount of time or money into accomplishing. Alright, so I don't know if it was last year, I guess, early 2018, maybe even late 2017, the anime Ancient Magus Bride came out, and we watched it on Funimation. So after it came out in English dub, we did watch Ancient Magus Bride as it came out, and it quickly became one of our favorite animes. It's not over the top fast paced, but it's still interesting, and just the art style in it really is awesome. It's beautiful art. And the story is very unique because you're following this girl going into this whole new world with this very calm and loving view, where like a person who wasn't her might look at it as a very terrifying thing to happen. She just kind of accepts the role and is just happy to have a home. And I don't want to dive into it too much, but I do recommend, if you haven't seen Ancient Magus Bride, to get on it stat. It's a good one. One of the main characters' name is Elias, and he is some sort of demon / mage. They always call him the mage. And what he's got is a skull head with some horns coming out of the top. I'm not really sure what the skull is. I read online that someone said that it was a wolf skull with some sort of ram type antlers, or a ram type horns coming out of his head. He often wears this red cape over his eyes. I'm not exactly sure this character. They didn't really give you lots of answers about him. You'll have to watch to really think about his character. They don't tell you really where he came from or what he might be. You really don't get as much insight into his story as you want, but you do connect on him on a very deep level. So my question for you, Sam, is with this character, Elias, in this show, Ancient Magus Bride, do you think he's a Wendigo? Okay, thanks. I can't wait to hear the answer about the Wendigo and Elias, Sam. I've given some thought on this, and I've actually noted down some things that the Wendigo and Elias have in common and some that they don't, and I'm interested to see if you find some of the same things when you're trying to decide if he's a Wendigo or not. Okay, thanks for watching this week, guys, and we'll see you on Monday. Happy weekend.